News presented by your Tampa Bay area Volkswagen dealers. Drive bigger.
Good Tuesday evening. I'm Rick Elmhorst. This is your Spectrum News in 90. Hillsborough County Deputy Carlos Brito is recovering at home tonight after spending the last 45 days in the hospital and in rehab. The sheriff says Corporal Brito and Deputy Manuel Santos were seriously hurt when a man intentionally hit them with his car. Doctors initially thought they may have to amputate Brito's leg, but they managed to save it. Universal Studios is considering expanding its theme park empire into the United Kingdom. Universal recently bought land in Bedford, England, and it'll begin exploring the potential for a park across the pond. Universal already has a new park under construction in North Texas and a third park in Orlando. And the Tampa Bay Lightning are back at home tonight after playing the last 5 games on the road. The Lightning take on the St. Louis Blues. Right now, Tampa Bay is just 1 point outside of a wild card spot in the playoff race. That's a quick look at your news. Time now for your Klystron 9 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mike Clay. And Mike, looks like another chilly night out there, huh?
Yeah, temperatures are going to drop off really quickly this evening as we check out the Pine Island camera here. And we're looking out at the sun going down. This is brought to you by the Ruth Law team. Sun's going down in about a half hour, and already it's in the 50s in Citrus County and Hernando. Now Pasco County joining in with temperatures dropping into the 50s, and it's not that far behind around the Bay Area where it's 60 or 61. So for tonight, it's going to be cold again, mid-30s north, mid-40s around the Bay, a few low 40s first thing tomorrow morning, and then a little bit milder, but the clouds come back tomorrow.
Crews in Pinellas County are continuing their work trying to get a large crane off of a condo building after it tipped over onto its side. This is a live look right now at the scene from Sky 9. You can see the top of the crane there. It's still resting on a part of the roof there. Spectrum Bay News 9's Nick Popham has been at the scene on Feather Sound Drive in Clearwater all day for us. And Nick, this is taken a lot longer than they expected to try to fix the problem.
Yeah, Rick, they were initially anticipating that this thing would have been removed from the building in about an hour. That was at about 12:45 this afternoon. As you can see, we're in the 5 o'clock hour, and the crane is still up against that condo there. This all happened starting just before 9:30 this morning. According to the attorney for the condo association, his name's Adam Bild, the crane was lifting new pieces of the roof up to the top of the building because they're in the middle of replacing the whole thing when the crane exceeded what it could safely lift and eventually tipped over. One resident we talked with said she heard people yelling, "Stop, stop," but it was too late, with another person saying it felt like an earthquake. Bild says he's just thankful no one got hurt during this whole incident.
As devastating as an event like this is, having no injuries is wonderful. So we're very relieved that there are no injuries, and we're excited to get the crane removed and everyone's life in the building back to normal as quickly as possible.
We're told there are engineers here who will be inspecting the building to see the extent of the damage from the crane. Folks who live here were temporarily evacuated, with some deciding to go back in later in the morning. In the meantime, they tried to get as many cars as they could out of the parking lot when they started this process of trying to get the crane off the building. Obviously, some folks decided to stick around, and a lot of people have just been waiting and waiting when this might actually take place. The attorney that you heard from just a few moments ago had also said that he can't fully consider that it was just weight that caused this crane to tip over. He said it was windy this morning. That could have played a factor, but again, the investigation and only time will be able to determine what exactly led to this crane tipping over. Live on scene in Clearwater, Nick Popham, Spectrum News.
Nick, thank you. Police in Tampa have identified the mailman killed in that hit and run yesterday at the intersection at North River Cove Street and North Mulberry Street. Police say 69-year-old Paul Felicia died yesterday when somebody ran into his Postal Service vehicle just before 3 in the afternoon. Felicia was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators say they think somebody was driving a dark Mercedes sedan, hit the mail truck, and then took off. They found that car they believe was involved in the crash about a mile away with some heavy damage, but they haven't found the driver. Police are asking anybody with information on the crash to call Tampa Police. You can see the number at the bottom of your screen right now. A Hillsborough County deputy is headed home for the holidays. Corporal Carlos Brito was released from the Largo Rehab Center today. He spent the last month recovering from his injuries. Brito and Deputy Manuel Santos were severely injured when the sheriff says a Brandon man intentionally drove his car into them. Bodycam video shows Brito got pinned between the suspect's car and the sheriff's SUV. Sheriff Chad Chronister says doctors initially thought they'd have to amputate Corporal Brito's leg, but they were able to save it. The deputy says he's hoping to be back on his feet and on the job in about 6 months, but he says he has to be realistic with his recovery.
I'm very honest. I want to. However, there's no telling if I'll have 10% mobility with my leg or 100. There's no telling right now.
Brito says he's received a lot of support from people all over the country. He was surrounded today by his family and fellow deputies. Commercial flights are coming back to Lakeland Linder International Airport. Now, we first told you yesterday that the Lakeland City Commission unanimously approved an agreement with Avelo Airlines. This evening, Spectrum Bay News 9's Calvin Lewis breaks down what it'll mean for the area. 5:09 as we head back to Mike Clay in the Weather Center. Here's a live weather cam shot of Pine Island. Mike, I've seen a few birds fly by, but what I'm not seeing, people. No people out there. It's a little on the cold side.
I don't know if the park is open yet, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, after Adalia.
A
few weeks ago, it was still closed. But
all right.
I don't
Well,
know. Yeah, our camera's there. Our camera's still working, but there may not be people allowed out there. But anyway, 5:09 right now, and it is chilly, and you wouldn't want to be out there. That's for sure, Rick. We've got the wind up and cloudy skies returning tomorrow, but the sunshine right now really didn't help warm us up very much all day. Crown Automotive Group in St. Petersburg showing those clear skies, but out to the west there are some clouds gathering, and as we head through the night and into tomorrow, some clouds could return. Also, the winds a little bit more northeasterly tomorrow. That sometimes brings in some clouds from the Atlantic side of the state. Sun getting lower in the sky, and here comes our sunset. So these are some of the high clouds out to the west. Those could be moving in tomorrow. Low clouds coming in from the northeast. Computer models actually bring quite a few clouds back tomorrow as we head through the day. Our temperatures are cool, though. Here we are at 5 o'clock, and it's down to 55 in Inverness, 58 Zephyr Hills. Tampa's only at 61, 60 in Winter Haven. And your forecast for tonight, then, county by county. Citrus County about like last night, mid-30s to upper 30s here. Moving into Hernando County, mid-30s to near 40 on the coast for tonight. Notice some clouds starting to appear. 41 to 44 across Pasco County tonight. And for Hillsborough County, mid-40s across most of the county for tonight. Some high clouds coming back in. Moving into Manatee County, 40s here to near 50, so another chilly night. And for Pinellas County, mid-40s north to upper 40s south. And into Polk County, mid-40s across the county for tonight. So another cold night ahead. Dry air in place. Tomorrow the clouds start to come back. For tonight then, mostly clear and cold, low down to mid-40s for Tampa Bay, but our northern counties, Pasco northward, dropping into the 30s. And then for tomorrow, increasing clouds and still a cool day with a high holding in the mid to upper 60s for your Wednesday. Coming up, we'll head all the way through Christmas on the 7-day forecast, but first, here's Clystron 9.
Portion of Spectrum Bay News 9 is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Here are your winning lottery numbers.
Decision 2024 news, we're less than a month away from the first primary contest for the presidential election. Continuing coverage of the Israel-Hamas war, the Hamas-run health ministry now claiming that close to 20,000 people have died in Gaza in the war. Our Washington Bureau reporter Evan Koslov has the latest on concerns that the conflict is expanding. A classic Broadway show is making its debut in Central Florida for the holiday season. We're going to get a behind-the-scenes look with the star of that show coming up in this week's On the Town.
Let's look at our forecast for the next few days as we head through the holiday weekend. It's going to be kind of a cool pattern to start us off with, but it's going to be a warmer pattern later towards Christmas and into early parts of next week. Rain possible for Christmas and kind of a wet pattern coming up as we head into next week to wrap up the year. Another weak front coming on through. You'll hardly notice the difference. There might be some high clouds coming in from the west as we roll through the night. For tonight, mostly clear and cold. Lows in the mid-30s north and mid-40s to upper 40s around the Tampa Bay area. So just about like last night, maybe just a few degrees difference. Here's the marine forecast for tomorrow. Partly sunny, northeast winds 10 to 15, so not quite as bad. Seas 2 to 4 feet and a moderate chop. Now we look ahead, 7-8 forecast as I see it, and we'll have some clouds come back in tomorrow. Another cool day, high of 68. Clouds around at times Thursday and Friday. Just a general trend of increasing clouds through Friday into Saturday. We'll be looking for more clouds around and milder temperatures. Then that rain chance comes back on Sunday. It'll be breezy into Christmas Day. Rain chances around 40, maybe even a little bit higher, 40 to 50% Christmas Day into Tuesday. Now, Klystron 9.
A Broadway caliber production of The Nutcracker is making its world debut this holiday season. Spectrum Bay News 9's Allison Walker goes on the town with the Orlando Ballet's shining star, who's letting us into a space that usually is off limits to our cameras. A major change for the Catholic Church is getting some positive reception. Pope Francis has formally authorized Roman Catholic priests to give blessings for same-sex couples. How some across the Bay Area are reacting. Coming up in our second half hour. You're watching your evening news on Spectrum Bay News 9. We'll be right back.
Presented by your Tampa Bay area Volkswagen dealers. Drive bigger.
Good Tuesday evening. I'm Rick Elmhorst. This is your Spectrum News in 90. The DoubleTree Hotel in Tampa is going to be demolished overnight. The demolition crew says around 1:30 tomorrow morning, folks nearby may hear what sounds like a thunderstorm for about 12 seconds when that building implodes. That property will then be used as a staging area for the West Shore Interchange project, set to begin next year. A crane fell over onto a Clearwater condo building this morning. It happened in the 2300 block of Feather Sound Drive. Crews say that Crystal Bay building was evacuated and nobody got hurt. And starting January 1st, Florida farmers can apply for a tax-exempt agricultural materials card. The new team card will allow farmers to purchase agricultural supplies without having to submit a form for each tax-exempt purchase. That's a quick look at your news. Time now for your Klystron 9 forecast.
Mostly clear and cold again tonight with lows dropping into the mid-30s, 40s across the rest of the area, so a chilly night ahead. Brings us to your beach forecast for tomorrow. There's going to be a risk of rip currents again. We'll look for temperatures to start out near 50 with some sun, increasing clouds through the day. It'll be a little breezy, and then the clouds will increase even more late in the day going into tomorrow evening with temperatures holding in the 60s.
The Catholic Church will now approve blessings for same-sex couples. That announcement came from the Vatican on Monday. So what does it mean for practicing members of the LGBTQ plus community? Spectrum Bay News 9's Kate McVeigh joins us live from Sacred Heart Church in Tampa with some reaction. Kate?
Rick, Sacred Heart Church here is considered one of the more progressive Catholic churches in the area. It really is the only church in the entire St. Pete Diocese that has LGBTQ plus outreach ministry. We spoke with the co-chair of that ministry. He's a member of the LGBTQ plus community himself, and he is very active in the parish. He tells us he feels this is a step in the right direction. Now, Don also shared with us that he hopes this decision will also bring more people back to the church, perhaps people that left because they didn't feel that message of inclusion, especially young people, which we know is one of the goals of the Pope. Rick.
All right, Kate, thank you. Today, members of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers handed over the keys to 4 homes they helped to build, along with the Habitat for Humanity. The players and Habitat for Humanity teamed up for the Holiday Home Build with the Bucs to help build homes in the Temple Terrace neighborhood to address affordable housing. That organization originally planned for the construction of just 2 homes, but it was increased to 4 after contributions from Bucs players, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and fundraising groups.
Thank you for all the help, and thank you to the Buccaneers organization and all the players that came to work here and help us and to put the windows and doors. And if you have any problem, I will be calling you all.
Well, the team also partnered up with middle school students last month for beautification projects of the new homes. The Bank of America Neighborhood Builder Program is giving $200,000 to the Vincent House for the group's programs that help people recover from mental illness. Now, Fadia Patterson spoke with a man who says they've helped him live a fulfilled life despite his diagnosis. 5:39 as we head back to Mike in the Weather Center. Here's a really nice shot of our weather cam in downtown Lakeland looking across Lake Mirror. And Mike, we're headed for another cold night.
Yep, it's going to be another cold night, and in the morning, quick warm up though, and then a nice day coming up tomorrow. Those clouds may try to return though, but tonight on the chilly side, not too windy though. Mater Brothers camera in downtown Bradenton, it's already down to 61 degrees with a dew point right around 40. As we look at the satellite, very dry air in place. Off to the west of us, there are some high clouds trying to come in. A little bit of a northeasterly wind for tomorrow. Might bring in a few clouds as well. So it certainly has been another breezy day today. The wind's dying down tonight and going into tomorrow. Also a little bit breezy again. Temperatures right now running in the 50s in our northern counties. It's already down to 55 in Newport Richey. Tampa's at 61, 60 in St. Petersburg right now. And a look at the forecast in the morning, 30s and 40s as you step out the door. Then during the day tomorrow, milder, getting up into the mid 60s in the afternoon. So not quite as chilly as it has been the last 2 days, and hanging out in the 60s for the rest of the day for tomorrow. Here's your forecast then for tonight. We're going to look for clear skies and cold with the low down to 46 or so. Our northern counties dropping into the 30s. And then for tomorrow, we should have plenty of sunshine early, but clouds will increase during the day and a high back up to around 68 for tomorrow. So it's going to be another cool day coming up for tomorrow. Let's see what's going on around the country this evening. And the West Coast is where the trouble is as another big storm affects Washington, Oregon, and California. More rains for California the next couple of days. Remember that drought they had a few years ago? And people said the drought would never end. Well, then they had a really wet winter last winter, and they're getting some nice rains right now. Here's the forecast for that area where flood watches are posted around Southern California all the way down through San Diego. Winter storm watches are posted in warnings in the mountains of the High Sierra. Lows tonight, teens and 20s across the Midwest, 20s and 30s in the Northeast. In the Deep South, we'll have another night well into the 20s. We're going to bring the clouds back our way. I'll have more about that coming up. But first, Klystron 9.
If it's been feeling more crowded lately here in Florida, that's because the Sunshine State is competing for Texas for the highest population growth in America. We're going to tell you what's causing that surge when we come back.
With a last name like Parker, and when you're related to Candace Parker and Anthony Parker, you know there are some pretty good influences in your life.
Just a way to give them some Christmas cheer and know that people out there care about them is very important.
But this Jesuit basketball player is ready to create his own legacy and become a positive influence for others. Our centerpiece is tonight at 10:30 on Spectrum Sports 360. Stein, and this is your Sports Minute sponsored by Spectrum One.
Florida is enjoying another big surge in population. The Census Bureau reports that Florida topped all states except for Texas in population growth over the last year. Our Karina Capobianca of our Washington Bureau breaks down the new numbers. The holiday season or getting ready to do your taxes, which is more stressful for you? Coming up, health experts reveal which time of the year gives people the most anxiety, plus some tips on ways to ease that stress.
Let's see what's coming up for our weather to bring our rain chances back. So this will be over Christmas. Maybe Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and even into Tuesday. The moisture returns with the winds coming back in from the southeast, so it'll be a bit breezy Sunday through Monday into Tuesday. Mainly minor impacts. Nothing major here, nothing like last weekend, but numerous showers around as we head through about 3 days going from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and next week. So here's the pattern now, and it's nice and cool for tomorrow as well, with chilly weather in the northeast, heavy rain on the west coast. And for tomorrow, rain in Southern California, showers in Texas, but we're dry. There may be a few showers down towards the Keys. That's for tomorrow. Then for Friday, a little bit of light snow in the Great Lakes area, cold and sunny in the northeast, but nice here. Rainy weather develops across Texas. And then as we head into Saturday, we start to get some snow coming out of the Rockies here. So this could be a pretty big Christmas snowstorm coming out of the Rockies. At least somebody's getting a white Christmas. On Christmas Eve, it'll be cold through the Rockies with snow and even ice in the Dakotas. Then a large area in the warmer air of wet weather all the way from the Gulf Coast back into the Midwest. And then on Christmas Day, we're looking for it to be dry in the northeast, showers around Florida, some snow in the Midwest, but a large area of rain from the Great Lakes area back down towards the Gulf Coast on Christmas Day. Back to our weather for tonight. Clear and cold with lows dropping into the mid-30s north and the mid-40s around Tampa Bay for tonight. 7-day forecast as I see it. We start out tomorrow with sunshine, then we go back over to some clouds. On Thursday and Friday, partly sunny, maybe mostly cloudy at times, especially going into Saturday. By Sunday, the rain chance returns. So there's about a 30% chance of showers Sunday, mild temperatures, but some showers around Monday into Tuesday of next week. Now your 3-day pollen forecast brought to you by Famous Tate Appliance and Bedding Centers. Moderate. Now here's Klystron 9.
Welcome back to Spectrum Bay News 9. In your health news, we all know that the holidays can be stressful, but did you know that 63% of people find this time of the year more stressful than even tax season? And for more health stories, you can visit our website, baynews9.com, or download the Spectrum News app. We're going to have more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour, including the latest on a USPS driver hit and killed in a crash Monday afternoon. What we've learned in the hours since that crash as the search for the other driver continues. That and more coming up in just minutes. You're watching Spectrum Bay News 9. We'll be right back.
Here's what's going on in our community. Brought to you by Mitchell Roofing Company.